Flights are $1,400 each, my mom said. If you can't keep up, don't bother coming. She was talking about my cousin Justin's destination wedding in Bali. The whole family was going. Aunts, uncles, grandparents, everyone except apparently me. I'm a freelance graphic designer, and Mom's always treated my career like it's just a hobby. I understand, I said quietly, stirring my coffee. Have fun taking pictures. My sister Kate rolled her eyes. Maybe if you got a real job instead of playing on your computer all day. What they didn't know was that I'd been secretly working with Justin for 6 months. He'd hired me to design his entire wedding brand after seeing my portfolio online. Invitations, programs, welcome bags, ceremony signage, reception menus, everything. The whole aesthetic was mine, and he paid me $8,000 up front with another $3,000 due on delivery. Justin made me swear to keep it secret because he wanted to surprise everyone with how professional and beautiful everything would look. Trust me, he'd said, they're going to lose their minds when they see this stuff. The family group chat was buzzing for weeks about their flights, hotels, and outfits. I watched them plan every detail while pretending I wasn't involved. Mom even posted photos of her new vacation wardrobe with captions like, "When your son can't afford family trips." 3 days before the wedding, my phone rang at 2 a.m. Justin was panicking. "Dude, we have a massive problem. The resort's printer completely broke down and all our wedding materials are stuck in Indonesian customs. Some paperwork issue. We have nothing. No programs, no signs, no table cards. The wedding planner is freaking out." I sat up in bed. "What do you need? Can you fly out here and handle this? You know the designs better than anyone. I'll cover your flight, hotel, food, everything. Plus, I'll pay you the final $3,000 and throw in another $2,000 bonus. I'm desperate, man. I was already opening my laptop to book flights. Send me the hotel info. I'll be there tomorrow. You're a lifesaver. But hey, still keep it secret until the ceremony. I want this to be the reveal." 24 hours later, I was in a Bali print shop working with local vendors to recreate everything. The language barrier was intense, but somehow we made it work. I spent 2 straight days running between the resort, print shops, and flower markets, coordinating every detail. The morning of the wedding, I was on the beach at sunrise setting up ceremony decorations when I heard familiar voices. My family was walking down the path from the hotel, all dressed up and looking around, confused. "Why does this look so professional?" my aunt was saying. "This doesn't look like typical resort stuff." I ducked behind the altar setup, grinning to myself. My mom spotted me first. Her face went completely white. "Jonah, what? How are you here? You said you couldn't afford the flight." Kate's mouth literally fell open. "Did you borrow money? Please tell me you didn't go into debt for this." Before I could answer, Justin appeared in his pre-ceremony casual clothes, beaming. He walked straight over and threw his arm around my shoulders. "Afford it? Your son didn't pay a dime to be here. I flew him out." He gestured to all the beautiful decorations around us. "Meet my secret wedding designer. Jonah has been creating our entire wedding aesthetic for months. Every invitation you guys got, every program you'll read today, every single detail you're going to Instagram, that's all his work." The whole family just stared. My grandmother actually gasped, then walked up to me with tears already falling. She slapped me, not hard, but enough. "I gave you $15,000 last year," she said, her whole body shaking. "Told you it was your inheritance early because you came to my house crying about eviction." The family went silent. Her voice cracked. "I've been skipping my blood pressure medication to afford groceries." My aunt made a wounded sound. "Mom, you gave him your emergency savings?" Kate started crying. "Grandma, why didn't you tell us?" But my grandmother just kept staring at me. "I don't understand why you didn't tell me you were okay." Then she touched her chest, a small gesture. My uncle saw it and screamed, "Someone call an ambulance." Grandma's face went pale. She stumbled. Justin caught her before she hit the sand. Everyone started shouting. My mom pushed me aside to get to her. Kate was sobbing, yelling for help. Resort staff came running. The wedding planner was on her phone. I stood there frozen as paramedics rushed down the beach, and when they lifted Grandma onto the stretcher, she looked at me one last time before her eyes rolled back. The ambulance tore away from the resort with its lights flashing across the palm trees. My mom climbed in with Grandma. The rest of us followed in taxis, still wearing our wedding clothes, nobody saying a word. The hospital waiting room smelled like disinfectant and fear. I sat in a plastic chair while my family huddled together on the other side of the room, literally keeping distance from me. Kate wouldn't even look at me. My uncle kept pacing, his face red. After 20 minutes, my mom came through the double doors. Her makeup was destroyed, black streaks down her face. "She's awake," Mom said, her voice hollow. "For now." We all stood up. "Can we see her?" my aunt asked. "One at a time. She's very weak." My uncle went first, then my aunt, then Kate. Each of them came back crying. When it was my turn, my mom grabbed my arm hard enough to hurt. "If she dies because of you," she whispered. "You're not my son anymore." I walked into the room. Grandma was tiny in the hospital bed, oxygen tubes in her nose, monitor beeping next to her. Her eyes were closed. "Grandma," I said, my voice breaking. Her eyes opened slightly. She looked at me, and I waited for anger, for blame, for anything. "Is Jonah safe?" she whispered. The nurse looked confused. "Ma'am, he's right here." But Grandma's eyes had already closed again. The monitor's beeping changed, got faster, then slower, then irregular. Alarms started going off. "You need to leave," the nurse said, pushing me toward the door. "Now!" I stumbled into the hallway. Doctors rushed past me. My mom saw my face and started screaming before I could say anything. "What did you do? What did you say to her?" "Nothing, The doctor came out 15 minutes later. We could tell from his expression. My mom collapsed. Kate was making sounds I'd never heard a human make before. My uncle put his fist through the waiting room wall. "I'm very sorry," the doctor said. "We did everything we could." This was her second heart attack. The first one was approximately 3 months ago and went untreated. Her heart was too damaged. 3 months ago? My mom choked out. "Why didn't she tell us?" According to her medical records, she couldn't afford the follow-up care after the first incident. She was advised to see a cardiologist and was prescribed medication, but there's no record of her filling the prescription or attending any appointments. My aunt started crying harder. "She told me she was fine. She said she was fine." "There's one more thing," the doctor said. He handed my mom an envelope. "A nurse found this at the front desk. Your mother left it here when she checked in 3 days ago. It's marked open if something happens." My mom's hands shook as she opened it. She pulled out several pages of handwritten paper. Her face went from grief to confusion to something I'd never seen before. Pure rage. She looked up at me, and I actually took a step back. "To my family," she read aloud, her voice shaking. "Jonah lied about the eviction. His landlord, Mrs. Chen from my church, told me he paid 6 months' rent up front 2 weeks after taking my money. I've known for 11 months. The waiting room went dead silent. Everyone turned to stare at me. "What?" Kate whispered. My mom kept reading. "I gave him the money anyway as a test to see if he'd confess. For nearly a year, I dropped hints about struggling financially in our phone calls, expensive bills, maybe needing a job, and Jonah never offered help or admitted the truth. I wanted to see how long my grandson would let me suffer for money he didn't need. Now you know too." "You knew?" my uncle said, his voice dangerous. "She was starving and you knew?" "I didn't know she was—" "Shut up," my mom said. She was still reading. "There's more. She says to look in a shoebox in her hotel room, room 4012. We went back to the resort in silence. My mom had Grandma's room key. We crowded into the small hotel room, and my aunt found the shoebox in the closet. Inside were receipts, hundreds of receipts. My mom pulled them out one by one. $8 at Food Max, $6 at Dollar General, $12 at the food bank for a membership fee. Each receipt had a date on it, and paper-clipped to each receipt was a printed photo from my Facebook. My mom held one up. The receipt was from 11 months ago. $8.47 for crackers, peanut butter, and store-brand bread. The photo clipped to it was me at a steakhouse with friends, posted the same day, tagged at a place where entrees started at $40. "Oh my God," Kate said, pulling out more. Receipt for bus passes. Photo of me showing off my new laptop. Receipt for $3.72, split pea soup and a loaf of day-old bread. Photo of me at a concert. There were so many. Each one was a punch to the gut. My aunt was shaking, holding a receipt for $4.25 at a convenience store dated 2 months ago. The Facebook photo with it showed me on a weekend trip to San Diego. She was tracking everything, my uncle said. Jesus Christ, she documented all of it. At the bottom of the box was a bank statement. My mom unfolded it with trembling hands. Her account balance, Mom said slowly, dropped from $18,000 to $340 over the past year. She pointed at highlighted transactions. $400 emergency room charge, declined. The date is 8 months ago. My mom looked up at me. That was her first heart attack. It was declined because you had her money. Kate found another highlighted transaction. $6.14, labeled food, 4 days. She made $6 worth of food last 4 days. My aunt was crying, pointing at a canceled payment. Health insurance. She canceled her health insurance. There's a note in the margin. Chose rent instead. She was about to be homeless, my uncle said. 1 missed payment away, while you were taking your friends to fucking dinner. My mom found another envelope in the box. This one sealed and addressed to me in Grandma's handwriting. She ripped it open, not caring that it wasn't addressed to her. "Dear Jonah," she read, her voice breaking. "I've been going to St. Anthony's soup kitchen 3 days a week for meals. I tell everyone there about my grandson, the successful designer who hit hard times. I tell them I'm proud to help you. I brag about your talent while standing in line for free food. I protect your reputation while I'm starving. I thought you should know that." Kate made a sound like she'd been shot. My aunt was hyperventilating. My uncle was just staring at me like I was something he'd found on the bottom of his shoe. "There's more," my mom said. She pulled out a newspaper clipping. Local designer wins regional award. That's you, isn't it? 8 months ago, $3,000 prize money. I remembered that. I'd used it for a new camera. You won an award, my mom continued reading from the letter, and didn't think to check if I needed my money back. You posted about expensive dinners but never asked how I was eating. I stopped being your grandmother and became your ATM, and you didn't even notice I was dying. My uncle lunged at me. Justin and my aunt had to hold him back. You piece of shit! You fucking piece of shit! There's a journal, Kate said quietly. She was holding a small notebook, the kind Grandma always carried in her purse. It's dated entries, the whole year. She opened to a random page. March 15th, cut my blood pressure pills in half today. Doctor said don't do this, but one bottle is $40 and I need that for utilities. Jonah still hasn't called to confess. Saw he posted about a new monitor for his computer. I wonder if he thinks about me at all. Kate flipped to another page. June 2nd, walked 3 miles to the library instead of taking the bus. Saved $2.50. My feet have blisters. Jonah updated his profile picture. Looks like he was at a baseball game. I heard those tickets are expensive. Page after page. My grandmother had been tracking my silence as carefully as she'd tracked her own suffering. July 8th, my aunt read over Kate's shoulder. Skipped breakfast and lunch today. Felt dizzy at the food bank. The volunteer asked if I was okay. I told her about my grandson and how proud I am of him. I don't know why I keep lying for him. My mom found an entry from 2 weeks before Bali. She writes here that she was having chest pains. She knew another heart attack was coming. She looked at me with pure hatred. Listen to this. I could ask the family for help, but then Jonah wins. He gets away with it and everyone feels sorry for him. I'd rather die proving what he's really like than live watching him pretend to be a good person. She chose this, Kate said in disbelief. She chose to die to expose you. The last entry, my mom said, her hands shaking so badly she could barely read, is from this morning, the morning of the wedding. She cleared her throat. Today, Jonah will present his beautiful work and everyone will praise him. Then they'll find out he created it with money stolen from a woman he let starve. If my heart gives out, at least I'll die knowing he can never escape this. The truth is my last gift to him. The room was completely silent except for someone crying. She planned this, my uncle said. She planned her own death to make sure we knew. My mom pulled out one more document. It's a will, updated and notarized 3 days ago at the resort. She scanned it, her face going through about 15 different expressions. She left her remaining assets to the family equally. Except you, Jonah. You get one thing, the shoebox. That's it, the shoebox with all the receipts and the journal. The will states that she wants you to keep it forever so you never forget what your lie cost. This is your inheritance. Kate laughed, this awful broken sound. That's so fucked up, that's so… Wait, my aunt said. There's an addendum. My mom turned the page. Her mouth fell open. What the hell? What? My uncle demanded. She had a life insurance policy. Nobody knew about it. $50,000. My mom looked up at me, and I couldn't read her expression. She named Jonah as the sole beneficiary. The room exploded. Everyone started yelling at once. My uncle tried to get at me again. Justin was shouting for everyone to calm down. Shut up! My mom screamed. Everyone shut up! There's a letter attached! She read it and her voice was shaking. I'm leaving Jonah this money because I want him to face the same choice he gave me. He can take it and live comfortably knowing it came from a woman he let die, or refuse it and have nothing. Either way, he'll understand what he really values. You can't take that money, Kate said immediately. Jonah, you cannot take that money. Are you fucking kidding me? My uncle shouted. He doesn't get to profit from killing her. My mom stepped close to me. If you accept that insurance money, I will make sure everyone we know learns the full story. Our church, your clients, every person who has ever respected you. I will destroy you. Do you understand me? Hotel security showed up because of the noise. The wedding was canceled, obviously. Justin was crying, apologizing to his bride. My family scattered to their rooms. I flew home 2 days later. Nobody said goodbye to me. 2 weeks after that, I got a letter from Grandma's insurance company. The claim form sat on my kitchen table for 3 days before I could even look at it. $50,000, more than 3 years of my current income. But it wasn't just a simple claim form. It required a detailed written statement about my relationship with my grandmother. The statement would be notarized and kept on file permanently. I stared at the questions. Describe your relationship with the deceased. Explain why you believe you should receive this benefit. Detail the nature of your interactions with the deceased in the year before her passing. She'd structured it this way on purpose. If I wanted the money, I had to document my love for her in legal writing. I had to create one more piece of evidence of my hypocrisy. If I lied on the form, it was fraud. If I told the truth, I admitted to exploitation in a legal document. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. My mom called 17 times the first day. Kate left a voicemail that was just her crying. My uncle sent a text that said, "If you take that money, I will never speak to you again, and I will make sure your kids know what you did." I didn't have kids. But the threat was clear. More voicemails. My aunt. She wanted you to have to choose, don't you see that? She's testing you from beyond the grave. Don't fail her again. Kate again. I looked up the laws. If you claim it, it becomes public record. Everyone will know. Please, Jonah, please don't do this. My mom. I called the insurance company. They said the claim is time sensitive. You have 45 days. I'm counting down every single one. I looked at my bank account. $3,400. Rent was due in a week. I had 2 projects lined up, but one client was disputing the price and the other kept pushing the deadline back. The insurance form sat on my desk. I picked up a pen. Describe your relationship with the deceased. My hand was shaking. I thought about Grandma in the soup kitchen, bragging about me. I thought about her cutting pills in half, walking 3 miles in the heat, going to bed hungry while I posted photos of restaurant meals. I thought about her last words. Is Jonah safe? Even dying, she was worried about me. Not angry, not betraying me, worried about me. The pen hovered over the paper. I could write that she was loving and generous, that she supported my dreams, that I cherished our relationship. All technically true, all completely missing the point. I could tell the truth, that I took her money under false pretenses and never gave it back, that I watched her suffer for a year and said nothing. That would be fraud in reverse, probably, admitting to something that might invalidate the claim. My phone buzzed. Another voicemail. I didn't listen to it. Grandma's real inheritance wasn't the money. It wasn't even the receipts in the shoebox, though those sat on my shelf now, impossible to throw away. It was this moment, this exact choice. She'd engineered it perfectly. Take the money and prove I valued cash over family, over dignity, over her memory. Refuse it and prove I'd learned nothing, that I just found a different way to benefit from her death by looking noble. There was no right answer. That was the point. I put the pen down and pulled out my phone. I took a photo of the blank form, the pen, my shaking hand in the frame. I posted it on Facebook with a long caption explaining everything. The fake eviction, the $15,000, Grandma's suffering, the shoebox, the insurance money, the choice. I tagged every family member. I made the post public. I don't know what to do, I wrote. I'm asking for help because I've proven I can't trust my own judgment. Tell me what kind of person I should be because clearly I don't know. The comments came fast. Most were brutal. You're asking us to fix what you broke? One said. You don't get to crowdsource your conscience. An old high school friend. The fact that you're even considering taking it tells me everything. My mom commented, I didn't raise you to be this person. I don't know who you are, but some were different. A woman I didn't know. My grandmother died alone in a nursing home because I was too busy. I'd give anything for one more chance to choose differently. You have that chance now. Don't waste it. One of Justin's friends. She gave you the money because she wanted you to struggle with this. Honor that by actually struggling with it. Feel every bit of it. A former client. I hired you because your work was thoughtful and intentional. Apply that same intentionality to this decision. I read every comment, all 247 of them over the next 6 hours. I didn't respond to any. At 2 a.m., I picked up the pen again. My phone rang. It was Kate. I answered. I saw your post, she said. She wasn't crying for once. Everyone's talking about it. I know. Are you taking the money? I don't know. Silence. Then, Grandma told me something once. I was maybe 12. She said the measure of a person isn't what they do when people are watching. It's what they do when they think they can get away with something. Kate, you got away with it for 11 months, Jonah. She let you. She watched you get away with it and documented every second. And now she's asking you a question. What question? If you could get away with it again, would you? She hung up. I looked at the insurance form. At the question, why do you believe you should receive this benefit? I started writing. I don't believe I should receive this benefit. My grandmother gave me $15,000 under false pretenses that I created. I told her I was being evicted when I wasn't. I used that money for personal expenses while she rationed food and skipped medical care. When she began showing signs of financial hardship, I said nothing. I watched her struggle for 11 months and never once offered to return the money or provide help. She died of a heart attack that might have been prevented if she'd been able to afford proper medical care. She left me this insurance money as a final test of character. I am completing this form because I am legally required to in order to make a claim, but I am also attaching this letter to be filed with my statement. I wrote for 3 pages, every detail, every receipt, every Facebook post. I included dates, amounts, direct quotes from her journal. I made it impossible for anyone reading this file to not understand exactly what I'd done. Then I signed it, dated it, and wrote at the bottom, I am refusing this benefit. I do not want this money. Please redirect it to St. Anthony's Soup Kitchen in my grandmother's name. I will be contacting them separately to establish a fund in her memory. I took the form to a notary the next morning. The notary read it, looked at me with something like pity or disgust, I couldn't tell which, and stamped it. I mailed it certified mail. Then I called St. Anthony's. I spoke to the director, explained who I was and what I wanted to do. She was quiet for a long time. Your grandmother talked about you, she finally said. She was very proud. I know. She shouldn't have been. She showed me a photo once, from some design award you won. She had it in her wallet. I closed my eyes. I'm going to send you $50,000. I'm also going to send you documentation of everything I did. I want you to know where the money comes from. That's not necessary. It's necessary for me, I said. I need you to know this money is blood money. I need someone to know that. The director agreed. I hung up and posted an update on Facebook. I refused the insurance money. It's going to the soup kitchen where my grandmother ate while I spent her inheritance on myself. I'm also attaching the full statement I submitted to the insurance company. I want everyone to have access to the same information they'll have in their files. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking to be held accountable. I attached the 3-page confession as a PDF. The comments were different this time, quieter. A few people said I did the right thing. More people said it didn't matter, that the damage was done. Several said I was just trying to look good, that this was performative. My mom called. I saw what you did. Okay, it doesn't bring her back. I know. It doesn't fix what you did. I know that too. She was quiet. But she would want you to know that she loved you anyway, even after everything. That's why she asked if you were safe. That was the last thing on her mind. I couldn't speak. I don't forgive you, my mom said. I don't know if I ever will, but she already did. That's the worst part. You didn't deserve it, and she gave it anyway. She hung up. The insurance company called a week later to confirm receipt of my statement and refusal. They asked 3 times if I was sure. I was sure. St. Anthony's sent me a letter saying they'd received the $50,000 and were establishing the fund in Grandma's name. They were going to use it to help cover medical expenses for their clients. People who couldn't afford to see doctors. People like my grandmother. I kept the shoebox. I put it on the shelf in my office where I can see it every day when I work. Sometimes I take out the receipts and look at them. $8.47 for crackers and peanut butter. $6.14 for soup. Bus passes. Food bank membership fees. I don't know if refusing the money made me a better person. I don't know if it made me a good person at all. I just know it was the only choice that let me sleep at night. My grandmother's last gift to me wasn't the money or the receipts or even the choice itself. It was the knowledge that I could still choose. That even after everything I'd done, I still had the capacity to decide what kind of person I wanted to be.